Day 1. The ship that could never sink. You arrive at the harbor surrounded by thousands of excited travelers. Standing in front of you is something that barely looks real. The Titanic towers over every nearby building, stretching almost 4 football fields long. People stop walking just to stare. Some clap, others cry with excitement. Everyone wants to be part of history. You step onto the ship. The wooden decks shine in the sunlight. Massive staircases sparkle beneath giant glass domes. Elegant dining rooms smell of fresh bread and expensive perfume. If you're wealthy, your cabin feels like a luxury hotel. If you're a third-class passenger, it's smaller and crowded. But you're still aboard the greatest ship humanity has ever built. Crew members proudly repeat the same sentence again and again. Practically unsinkable. And honestly, you believe them, wouldn't you? Day 2. Life feels perfect. The next morning feels peaceful. Children race across the decks. Couples take photographs. A band performs cheerful music while passengers enjoy tea overlooking endless blue water. You explore every corner of the ship: swimming pool, gymnasium, libraries, smoking rooms, luxury restaurants. Everything feels impossible. How could something this massive ever disappear? At dinner, strangers become friends. Everyone talks about the future waiting in America. New jobs, new homes, new beginnings. No one notices how cold the air is becoming. No one notices the sea growing strangely calm. No one realizes that silence on the ocean isn't always a good sign. Day 3. Something feels wrong. The temperature suddenly drops. Your breath becomes visible. Crew members begin receiving wireless messages. Other ships nearby warn about huge icebergs. Again, and again, and again. The captain reads every warning, but Titanic keeps moving at nearly full speed. Passengers don't know. Why would they? You're too busy watching the stars. Without city lights, the night sky looks endless. Beautiful, peaceful, almost too peaceful. Then you notice something strange. The ocean looks perfectly flat, no waves, no sound, just darkness. If you were standing there, would you feel safe? Or would your instincts tell you something terrible is waiting ahead? Night 4. The Iceberg, 11:40 p.m. A lookout suddenly rings a bell 3 times. A shout echoes across the ship. Iceberg! Right ahead! Everything changes. The engines roar. The ship begins turning, but it's too late. Scrap! A strange vibration travels beneath your feet. It doesn't feel dramatic. No explosion, no giant crash. Just a long scraping sound, followed by silence. Passengers laugh. That's it? Probably nothing. The band keeps playing. People return to their conversations. But deep below, ocean water rushes into the ship. One compartment, then another, then another. Engineers exchange terrified looks. They already know Titanic is going to sink. The truth spreads. Crew members begin waking passengers. Some refuse to leave warm beds. Others joke about wearing life jackets. Many believe it's only a precaution. You step outside. The cold bites your face instantly. Lifeboats begin lowering, but something doesn't make sense. Many leave half empty. People don't want to board. Why? Because nobody believes the ship is actually sinking. Imagine seeing a lifeboat and deciding to stay behind because you think you're safer on the ship. Would you make that mistake? Minutes pass. The front of the Titanic slowly sinks lower. Now everyone understands. Panic explodes. People run. Children cry. Families become separated in the darkness. The music somehow continues. Not because everything is okay, but because someone wants people to stay calm. The final minutes. The angle of the deck becomes steeper. Walking turns into climbing. Loose chairs slide into the freezing sea. Windows shatter. The lights flicker. Once, twice, then darkness. Only stars remain. The enormous ship groans louder than thunder. You grab the railing as icy wind tears across the deck. One final deafening crack echoes through the night. The ship begins breaking apart. Everything around you disappears into chaos. Cold water races toward you. There is nowhere left to run. The question isn't whether the Titanic will sink anymore. It's whether you'll survive the next few minutes. When the sun finally rises, the Titanic is gone. Only lifeboats drift across an empty ocean. More than 1,500 people never make it home. One ordinary night becomes one of history's greatest maritime disasters. It reminds us that confidence isn't the same as safety, and that even humanity's greatest creations can be defeated by nature. Now, here's the final question.